Welcome back to Nightly News. 6 countries are staking overlapping claims in the South China Sea, with China being the most aggressive, insisting it owns that entire body of water. Claimants have taken various measures to resolve the conflict, legal, diplomatic, with some flexing of military muscle. But the standoff remains. Now even the U.S. has sent a warship near the Spratly Islands to protect international trade routes. What complicates the situation is that most, if not all, claimants are major trading partners with China. Now, how should these countries, especially the Philippines, maintain its economic ties with Beijing while standing firm on its maritime rights? For more perspective on this, we now talk to Aaron Goach, Chairman and CEO of Global Criterion Solutions Limited. Good evening, Aaron. Good to have you on the show.
Good evening, Mitzi. Thank you for having me.
Well, South China Sea gets about 60% of world trade traffic, and large deposits of oil and gas are believed to be under the seas. How can these claimant countries, especially the Philippines, nurture economic ties with China and other trading partners?
Right. Well, it literally is walking a tightrope right now, as I think everyone knows. We're coming up on the APEC meetings,
exactly.
Which I'll be attending, and I assume you'll be covering. So this is kind of a very interesting time, with the transit of the USS Lassen,
right,
and the tensions that are occurring in the South China Sea. Geopolitically, I think we are in sort of an increase in hostility, at least war of words, right? So it reminds me of my youth in the Cold War a bit, right? Which is a little bit unsettling, right? I think that the United States and many other of our partners would like to see these disputes resolved peaceably, right? Because that's really what's best for everyone in the sense of commerce. And my role as a businessman, I wear that hat, and I think I want to see things continue as normal, right?
Exactly.
So I think protecting the freedom of navigation, very important. Right?
Yes, well, you mentioned the USS Lassen. China wasn't very happy about this, and this is just the first of many exercises that the U.S. will be exercising in the area. What do you think about this, and how will this affect APEC?
Yeah, well, we've been conducting these transits since 1979, so it's really nothing new. I think Defense Secretary Carter pointed that out, right? So I think, in terms of China's view that it's provocative,
right?
I suppose people can disagree and decide the Chinese side has one view, the American side another. Difficult for me. I'm an American married to a Filipino Chinese, as you know. So,
yeah.
I have an uncle who served under General MacArthur in the Navy in the Leyte landings back in World War II. I have another uncle who served on board a destroyer, the First, which was shelled in the Tonkin Gulf in the Vietnam War, which then led to the hostilities in Vietnam. So I have personal experience. My father also served in the Army during the Vietnam years, and I know how things can kind of spiral out of control. So I think we want everybody to kind of remain calm. And so if I put on my business hat, that's really the message I would like to deliver. As you know, I also represent a few other American civic organizations, American Citizens Abroad, Republicans overseas, Philippines. I'm speaking as a private citizen. I think, I have my own views, and the organizations take some views on these things. I think the Republicans, as we go into the elections next year, would like to see a little bit more forcefulness in defending, the freedom of navigation.
Now, in terms of getting more foreign direct investments, what is needed to really bring that into the Philippines and among regional partners?
Again, peace. I think we just need to stay calm, right? Cool heads will have to prevail. And I think as we go into the APEC meetings, I would hope that people recognize that the most important thing that we can do for the global economy, and what probably precipitated, if we're all fair about it, the tremendous growth in economics activity in the Asia-Pacific region over the last couple of decades, has been open sea lanes and open borders, open capital markets, right? So I'd like to see that continue as a businessman. I think as a Republican, and looking at President Obama and some of the past decisions that the administration has made, I'd like to see a little bit more forcefulness. So I'm glad now that we are, stepping up a bit.
What do you think? How do you think President Aquino's administration has handled it so far, and how should we move forward to make sure the economics are kept more inclusive growth?
Yeah, I actually think President Aquino has done a fantastic job in terms of improving the business climate in the Philippines. So I've been investing here for, almost 15 years. And, when it was a very different climate a long time ago. So I think, I've seen a lot of progress myself. I know a lot of folks in Manila complain about the traffic, and I've experienced that myself. In a weird way, that's just a sign of progress. Right? We just need now to catch up with infrastructure, which I think is the challenge probably for the next administration. So if we can kind of stay on this straight path, daang matuwid, I think we can maybe see some more progress in infrastructure.
Yeah, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you very much, Aaron Goach.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
happy to
insights
come back
tonight.
anytime. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.